They came from that side over here. Why is mama this way and the kid is facing that way? She didn't, I don't think she ever hit the brakes until after she hit him. So that means that she didn't even recognize that she was driving up on these people. And she didn't catch it until after people were flying over the car. Let's get to Houston mom. I want to read this real quick, and then we're gonna go through the body camera just real quick. This topic has been viral. Maybe you guys haven't seen it, but it's been viral because they just released the body-worn camera, which I don't know why they did it before Thanksgiving. But they released the body-worn camera of a Houston PD officer, just regular patrol, wasn't lights and sirens, wasn't speeding, just driving down the road and ran over mama and hit her kids and everything in the middle of the street. Now, I'm going to make the statement up front so you guys have no confusion. I believe that the officer had some responsibility, but ultimately the lady standing in the middle of the street, stationary at 9 o'clock at night on a dark road, is ultimately responsible for her getting hit and losing her life and her children getting hit. I think they kind of got scraped. But the female police officer should have been paying attention enough to know or be aware that people may be flocking in the middle of the street. And if they are, you should be able to stop. She hit him and did hit the brakes. That means she wasn't paying attention as much as she should have. But ultimately, it wasn't her fault. Okay? So this happened approximately 9:52 p.m. Officer Shelby Kennedy struck 41-year-old Desiree Poole with a police cruiser while she was crossing the street on Anton Drive in Pinemont with her children. Reportedly, they just got off the bus and they're crossing the road. Let's go to the body-worn camera footage because this is insanity. Now, Nick, I need control. Can I control it? No. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna do this when I want you to stop, but it's gonna be quick because I need to stop it a few times. We're gonna play it back a few times because I need people to understand this. As you're watching this, right up here is the crosswalk. This is a busy street. Cars are coming this way and this way constantly. It's not a one-off. This is not 1 o'clock in the morning, nobody driving but a police car. Cars are doing this. They are standing in the middle right here, and they are never going to move until the cop hit them. They're not going from here to here or across. They're not crossing. They're literally, from the time we push play, are just standing right here in the middle of the street. Roll it. Standing there. Whoa. Okay. Man, you got the audio up, so you heard him getting popped. But she ended up hitting him. Keep playing the clip. Okay, go back. Okay, go back. Just a little bit. Inch it back a little bit. No, leave it there. Just until I'll play it and I'll tell you to stop. Okay, roll it. Stop. Now, this is sad, but it's crazy. Why are they just in the middle of the street? They're just standing right here. Mama's here, and the kids are just standing here. This is the thing that was appalling to me. When I first saw the cop, I'm like, oh my God, what is she thinking? She didn't even stop. She didn't do nothing. This is why people get mad at females being police officers, right? Because the girl is completely oblivious to what's going on. The fact that there's two people in the car, the young lady is kind of oblivious, it makes me believe she's in training. Now, the girl ain't in training. That's embarrassing. I think she's a new officer, so her mind is going. I want to put this in perspective for you guys, not giving her too much of a pass. When you're a rookie cop and you new, if that's her, you got 400 million things going through your mind at one time, and you can't get distracted. People forget you got a radio and you got a TV, you got a computer screen right here in your car. If that's not the most distracted thing ever, I don't even know how they let police officers do it, but we are the most distracted people ever. We learn how to multitask, right? Somebody's in the ear, unit copy, black male walking southbound, just robbed a corner store on Pine Bluff and 3rd, and you close in the way, you may be like kind of looking. Then you want to check the call status, so you got to go on the computer and look at it. So you're listening, looking out the window, trying to see. So a person can get distracted. I'm not sure that this is her situation, but people can get very distracted as cops. But they did an investigation. They haven't released the actual speed of the car, but investigations say that the speed wasn't a factor. And the only reason I think this looks worse than what it probably was when it comes to speed, because she didn't hit the brakes at all until after she hit him. So it looked like she just plowed through him. I mean, she was just going normal speed, but she didn't react to this. The thing that just boggled my mind, and I still can never understand, is why are they standing in the middle of the street like this? If you get off the bus from over there, you stop here in the middle, or you're running across the street. You got to be crossing. They came from that side over here. Why is mama this way and the kid is facing that way? They should all be facing this way, coming across the street. I mean, they didn't move until the cop is right here. The campaign is Angel Tree Campaign. I do it every single year. What we're trying to do is get children whose parents are incarcerated a gift for Christmas. Very simple. It's no fault of their own. Their parents are the one made the decision, but they still deserve to have a loving and genuine Christmas. This is what we're going to do. Our goal was 1,300 kids. We're already at 1,200, and the second day we've been talking about this. We want to blow past this to get to 4,000 kids. That's our goal. Bring me back in. 4,000 kids. All I want from you is that if God has put it on your heart for you to give, $30 covers a kid. We'll get them a gift of their choice. We'll get them a Bible and a personalized letter from their parent who's incarcerated. We do this every year, and it's such a heartwarming success for us, and I cannot wait to service more than 1,200 kids that we have right now. And I know that we can do it big. Now, play it so they can see them. Look, cars are coming this way. Oh, my God, Kennedy! This is how she drives. So she don't see it. My God. And she go, oh, my God. Well, if you know, the male officer gets out and he renders aid, he does CPR, and she's kind of flustered, right? I mean, some of it could be because she just hit somebody and she's like, oh, my God, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. This is it. I ain't never going to see my family ever again. And that could cause her to be flustered. Or she's just an inexperienced cop that's just not there yet, right? She's not. She should be driving the car. She should be over in the passenger seat watching. Because she hit him and she don't even tell them that they're doing CPR. Because you have to let them know over the air that you're doing CPR so they can timestamp it. So when you go on the radio, you got to say CPR started. Because then they can go back and historically timestamp and say, this is when we started CPR. When the ambulance get there and they pronounced her or whatever, they know that you have been doing CPR from this amount of time. If you never say you start CPR, they have no record that you ever did CPR unless they're looking at a body on camera. So you use the radio as a record. So she go, hey, we need EMS. She did a good job at that. We need a sergeant. She did a good job at that. But she didn't even articulate that they hit somebody in the middle of the street. She didn't even mention that part. And the guy had to yell at her while he's doing CPR to say, tell him CPR. Tell him we start CPR. She was taken off the streets, but she was put back on the streets during the investigation. This is what I will say. They didn't, just the mama didn't make it. The kids were fine. The mama didn't make it. It was very sad if you watch the rest of it. But somebody said, good job, Nick. You did do a good job stopping and going. I know it's hard to do that. But let me just say this and then I'm going to be done. I think that the officer should have been a lot more present and aware of their surroundings. Would a good officer who's aware of their surroundings not hit them? They may still have hit them, but she should at least been aware enough to hit the brakes at some point. She didn't. I don't think she ever hit the brakes until after she hit him. So that means that she didn't even recognize that she was driving up on these people. The guy in the passenger seat who's not driving is like, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. And she didn't catch it until after people were flying over the car. So my critique of her is that she needed to be paying more attention. all the time because you always have to expect this to happen. When I was a police officer, Tucson has the worst lighting in the world. And one of the reasons that they do is because there's a big observatory in Tucson, which means that they lower the lighting of the city so there's not a lot of what they call it light fog, and therefore the observatories and lenses can see the stars clearly. Tucson has the worst lighting ever. People die all the time in Tucson because you can't. I mean, and people are dumb enough to be wearing all black on a street with no street lights, pitch black, boom, we run over. People die all the time in Tucson like that. So I know what it's like to be driving in an environment where it's low lighting. Now, you go in code 3, people run out there, they just going to hit. But while you're just patrolling, you should understand your beat well enough to know this is where people cross. This is where the bus stop is at. People are getting off the bus at this time. Let me at least be able to hit the brakes. Now, for the family, and I'm done. Mama, what are you doing? You're standing. Get me back to the standing in the middle of the street clip. You're just standing there. Your children and you are not moving. Y'all, I mean, I watched this video. You can barely see it from me, but if you go look at it on your own, they're standing here the whole time. They're standing right in the middle. They're not even crossing. They're just standing right here. They're not moving. Stop. They're not even moving. Like, I don't understand how this happens. Mama's facing this way, the kid's facing this way. They're just standing here. She's lucky that her kids didn't lose their life. She's lucky there wasn't a bus. I mean, the cop got the headlights on. You can't see the headlights down the street, and you just stood there for at least 2 or 3 seconds straight. So I blame mama for putting her kids out there. You can't do it like that. I don't know if the kids dropped something in the street and they were picking it up. I don't get it, man. There's buses coming this way, car headlights right there. You can see cars coming. I'm sure the cop car wasn't the only car that went this way. For the life of me, when I watched this, I couldn't imagine that she's just standing there. I thought they were crossing and the cop plowed through him. I'm like, oh, shoot, bro, you finna go to jail. But then I watched it and watched it and watched it and watched it, and I realized that they hadn't moved from when that cop car was way back there. They hadn't even moved nowhere. What? This is how people, that's why the cop isn't going to jail, because you can argue that the lighting is not very good here and that they just standing there in the street. They're not even like crossing. But anyway.